Well, friends, welcome to last part of this module 5. That is, we were discussing current trends in supply chain management. Till now, we have discussed about various current trends, like we started with integration. We discussed both the internal as well as external integration, then restructuring, how restructuring is better than integration. We have understood. Then we continued various models, and then we came to agile supply chain. Okay, and why agile supply chain is necessary. After all these things, now we will come to the last topics, information technology in supply chain, and how is it related to e-commerce, why information technology is an essential part of supply chain, how supply chain performance can be improved with the help of information technology. All these aspects will be discussed in this part. I have referred many sources, including notes, textbooks, internet blogs, videos to prepare this PPT. I owe a thanks to all of them, and this is exclusively used for the purpose of education. Information technology in a supply chain. What does that mean? Information is a key supply chain driver because it serves as the glue that allows the other supply chain drivers to work together with the goal of creating an integrated, coordinated supply chain. A better information, better will be the bonding. Okay, so if there is no proper information flow in the supply chain, the bonding will not be very strong, and the bonding keeps on loosening day by day, year after year, and after some time the entire supply chain may collapse. In order to avoid that, the information is the key. If there is a proper flow of the information right from beginning till the end, that keeps on moving from one stage to the another stage, from one player to the another player, irrespective of the number of players in the supply chain, even if new entrants come into picture, the information flow should not be halted. So when such an streamlined flow of the information is achieved in the supply chain, then we can definitely uh, hopefully we can achieve the integrated, coordinated supply chain. Without information, a manager cannot know what customers want, how much inventory is in stock, and when more product must be produced or shipped. This is the basic thing. Information is like a foundation. Okay, if you do not have proper foundation, the house cannot be strong. So information is like foundation. They are the basic data that is required. In order to collect the basic data, information is the key. Basic data like what customers want, how much must be produced, how much must be shipped, how much inventory should be kept as safety stock. All these aspects need to be very perfect or nearer to very perfect. If there is a deviation from such data, the performance of the supply chain is questionable. That's why, in order to make the performance of the supply chain foolproof, improve its performance, we need to have a robust information system. In short, information provides supply chain visibility, allowing managers to take decisions to help to improve the supply chain performance. Uh, what is it in store for the managers from information technology? Managers can make better decisions. That is the major thing. That is the major help that they can get from a proper information. So if there is no proper information, they will take decision as per the data available, as per the information available. That information may be true or not true. That may be foolproof or not foolproof. And that obviously affects the final decision. IT consists of hardware, software, and the brainware. What we term it as the people. Okay, normally we call it as hardware, software, and brainware. Throughout the supply chain and gather, analyze, and execute upon information. IT serves as the eyes and ears, sometimes even the portion of the brain, which is gaining momentum nowadays because of the automation, machine learning, and all those things. Information uh, is very key for machine learning. If the machine has to perform properly, the information has to be perfect. So it's garbage in, garbage out. That's all. So if we do not give the proper input to the machine cannot work. It's as simple as that. So that's why for a proper machine learning or a successful machine learning exercise, information is very very important. That's why in earlier times information was just named as ears and eyes. Nowadays it is also the brain, okay, because of the advances that is taking place in the field of machine learning and automation, as well as artificial intelligence. And in order to make a good decision, whether it is artificial intelligence or natural intelligence, information is the key. For example, see, a major manufacturer of the computer workstation and servers found that most of its information on customers' demand was not being used to set the production schedules and inventory levels. The information that they were more dependent on, that was the feedback from the previous player in the supply chain, not from the directly from the customer. Even during discussion on the agile supply chain, we were talking about the information distortion, right? So there also we discussed that it is very important to collect the data directly from the customer rather than from the previous player. The same thing happened over here for that computer workstation manufacturer. They installed a supply chain software system. The company was able to gather and analyze demand data to produce the recommended stocking level. So by using this supply chain software, they were able to get the feedback directly from the customer. As a result, what happened? It helped them to produce and maintain the stocks as per the requirement, not either understocking, not overstocking. So both of these things are harmful for the success of the supply chain. That's why they could control the inventory level, they could manage the inventory properly because of this supply chain software system. Using the IT system enabled the company to cut its inventory to half. So it was absolutely unnecessary because there was no proper information from the customer. And as a result, what was happening? They were unnecessarily taking these things. And we have already discussed bullwhip effect. Okay, what happens? Even though the demand is only this much variation at the customer end, by the time it reaches the supplier end, the information will be distorted to this extent. That's what we have already discussed this during our bullwhip effect discussion. So IT has helped to reduce this bullwhip effect and reduce the inventory to half. And not only gathering of these data to create supply chain visibility, but also the analysis of this data. That is very very critical. Collection of data is one part. Next is the analysis of the data. How do we interpret that? That is where these softwares will be very handy. Uh, our experience will matter. That's the first thing. But in addition to the experience, uh, if we enter the data as per our experience, what happens? Machine will work in a better way. So even though it is artificial intelligence should also be provided with proper data. If proper data is not provided to the artificial intelligence, then the output would be wrong. And that's why uh, this IT field will help the manager to take a better decision. Okay, it's not that whatever the data we get from the information technology should be only source of information to take the decision. That concept is also wrong. That's not the right perception. We have to combine the input of from the information technology and our own experience must also be added to that, so that a better decision can result. So this is where IT system has helped the managers to arrive at better decisions, so that the profit could be maximized. To support the effective supply chain decisions, information must have the following characteristics. The first one is the information must be accurate. That's what I was talking about. It is garbage in, garbage out. So if we input the wrong information, the output will also be wrong. That's why the information must be accurate. When the information is accurate, obviously what will happen? The approach would be much better. See, many a times can we ensure that the information is accurate? That's very difficult. At least it should be directionally correct. That is very, very important. Okay. We cannot assure anybody that whatever the data we get, it is 100% accurate, because multiple players will distort this data, and by the time we get that, even though it is in real time data, many a times even the real time data may also get distorted. It's possible, but it should be directionally correct. Let me put it in a very simple way. See, for example, if you divide 616 say by 2, okay, normally the common mistake with kids is that 2 3s are 6 and 2 8s are 16. So 38 is the answer. And this is a common mistake by primary school kids. And they will forget that whenever one digit is taken and if it is not divisible by the divisor, the next digit must be considered by adding a 0 to that. That point will be forgotten by many of the primary school kids. Okay. Why I am taking this example? 616 divided by 238, if you come up it would be wrong. Then you will say that no, I did it correctly, even though it is correct, we have not got the marks. But whenever you solve a problem, just analyze it. Why I am insisting, collection of data is just one part. Analysis of the data is very, very important. It is 600 something divided by 2, and the answer must be at least something 300 or more, but I have got an answer of 38. Can that be correct? If the kid starts putting such doubt right from its primary school level, then the development of its brain and development of its analytical ability would be entirely different. There itself it should have understood, oh, something wrong in my calculation, it cannot be something like that, it should be more than 300. Then it will remember, oh, I have done a mistake here, I took only one digit, it's not divisible by 2, I have taken this second digit, that's why I should have put 0. Then the answer is correct. Why I am taking, you cannot get the information accurately, you cannot check whether 308 is correct or not, it's secondary, but at least directionally it should be correct. Yeah, 308 can be the answer. Because it is more than 300, yes, it could be the answer. Such kind of analytical ability must be developed, even for you also, my dear friends. Being at engineering college, don't be under the impression that whatever you do will obviously be correct. No, we too do commit many mistakes, but while calculating out of site mistake or something, calculation mistake or oversight, something will happen, but at the end you just check whether that answer is directionally correct. When information is collected, the manager should analyze that, is this directionally correct? When he gets the result, he should analyze, is this directionally correct? If he just depends on the information and takes decision, that's absolutely a folly. He is going to suffer because of that wrong decision. That's why information must be accurate, and the manager must also be committed towards the analysis of that particular information. He should always ensure that whatever the analysis he gets is directionally correct. Information he has collected is directionally correct. That is very, very important. Second important characteristic is information must be accessible in a timely manner. If I want it now, I want it now. What is the use of the information being obtained after a month or a year? Absolutely no use to me. Okay, if I want it today means I want it today. So if it can be postponed by 1 week, okay, postpone it. So whenever I want that information, I want that. Accuracy is one thing. Timely is another important thing. So an information, a data must not only be accurate but also be available on time. A product, for example, see, if it doesn't reach us the customer on time, what is the use of that product? I am thirsty, I want a glass of water or a glass of juice now. If I get it after 1 hour, what is the use of that? I have already found some other solution. Okay, so that is why in order to satisfy the customer, in order to take an appropriate decision, information must be accurate as well as available on time. Information must be of the right kind. You see, it should not be a wrong decision. It could be an accurate decision, but it should not be wrong decision. That is very, very important. I give a wrong decision which is very, very perfect. Perfectness is not important. See, for example, see, often companies have large amount of data that are not helpful in making a decision. See, right kind in the sense, it should not be wrong data. Wrong data in the sense, see, I want a decision on the functioning of the machine A. If I get the information on the functioning of machine B, what is the use of that data for me? According to me, that data may be correct, but it's a wrong data. I hope you are getting the difference between correctness and wrong. See, for me it is not needed. It's a wrong data for me, but the data collected for that machine is correct. But nobody wants that data as of now. I want a data of right kind. What does that mean? I want the data of machine 1, not the data of machine 2. Machine 2's data, whatever you have collected, okay, may be correct as far as your knowledge is considered, but for me it is a wrong data because I am not analyzing the machine 2, I am analyzing machine 1. So information on machine 1 is required for me. That is the right data for me. So that is the meaning of right kind of data. Okay, information must be of the right kind. I hope you have followed that particular point. Okay, and information must be shared, and that is important. See, don't hide the information. Information must be shared throughout the entire supply chain. All stakeholders must come to know about what is being done. And if they do not come to know about that, there could be some misalignment in the action, misalignment in the final result, and it will definitely affect the final supply chain performance. That should not happen. If that is not to happen, then information must be accurate, information must be timely available, information must be of right kind, not just correct, it should be of right kind. Information must be shared and it should be disseminated throughout the supply chain. All these 4 points must be satisfied. Information is used when making a wide variety of decisions about each of the following supply chain drivers. First one is the facility. Why do I need information? How will it help for me to decide about the facility? It will help me to decide about this facility for its location, for its capacity, and trade-offs among the efficiency. flexibility, demand, exchange rate, supply, taxes. So many factors are there related to facility. All these information must be available to me properly. Even during our network design, I was talking about the assumptions. Whenever we are preparing the model, whenever we are designing the network, we have to assume that the information is available on all these things, on the location, on the capacity. All the information is available on the taxes and tariffs of the location, the marketing factor. All the information is readily available and they are accurate. Okay, so that is why information is very much necessary in order to prepare a model. So if before I prepare the model, I have to ensure that information that has been collected is proper, accurate, timely, everything will come into picture. Second supply chain driver is the inventory. Inventory setting, optimal inventory policies requires information that includes demand patterns, cost of carrying inventory, cost of stocking out, and cost of ordering. All these things will come into picture. How much inventory must be taken care of. See, whenever we talk of inventory, overstocking, understocking will come into picture. Overstocking in the sense I am holding the inventory unnecessarily, which is a waste of money and waste of space. Understocking means I am holding the inventory which is not at all sufficient to meet the customers of the meet the demands of the customer. What is the use of that? In that sense also I will be losing the market, I will be losing the business. So that is why inventory holds the key, and maintaining the proper inventory information technology is very important, and it has proven to be very effective while maintaining proper inventory level. Reorder point, everything can be gotten with the help of information technology. Third supply chain driver is the transportation. See, transportation networks, routings, modes, shipments, and vendor requires information about costs, customer locations, and shipment sizes to make good decisions. Customers are expecting the shipment to arrive today, and it has to be delivered to him on that day. If it gets delayed by 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, what will customers think? I have to be very careful over there. Okay, so that's why importance of information in transportation is very critical, and that's why with the help of this GPS, the people sitting in the manufacturers and can track where the trucks are moving. Okay, are they delaying the transportation, or are they traveling at the speed at which they were asked to drive? Are they over speeding? Did they meet with any accident? Everything can be tracked with the help of the GPS. And what is GPS? It's nothing but global positioning system. It's a part of the information technology. So that's how even IT can make transportation better. Sourcing, information on product margins, prices, quality, delivery, lead times, and so on are all the important in making the sourcing decisions. From what source I have to collect the raw material, to which particular destination I have to send the final product. All these things are very, very important. Okay, from what source I have to collect the raw material, that is price will come into picture, the quality will come into picture, the lead time will come into picture. How would I get a better information? Information technology is the answer. Pricing and revenue management. IT will play a very critical role in pricing and revenue management. To set the pricing policies, we need the very accurate information on the demand. Okay, bullwhip effect must be tamed while conveying the message information on the customer demand. Okay, so that is why the information will play a very important role, very critical role while pricing and revenue management. Now we will discuss about the future of information technology in supply chain. Okay, till now we discussed why supply chain needs information technology, how critical it is for the supply chain performance, and all those things we discussed till now. Now we will discuss how in future it will impact the supply chain. At the macro level, supply chain management is driven by SRM, that is supplier relations management, internal supply chain management, ISCM, and customer relationship management, that is CRM. Okay, CRM, SRM, and ISCM, they are all three important aspects of the success for they are important drivers of success of any supply chain management at the macro level. Macro level means at a very high level, at the level of the country, okay, or at the level of the entire company itself. Relative focus on improved analysis to support decision making will continue to grow. The following three important trends will impact IT in the supply chain. What are those trends? First one is the growth in software as a service. Okay, nowadays information technology enabled services, IT and ITES, both of them have gained momentum from past 2 to 3 decades. Okay, and they are going to be there even for next 1 or 2 decades. Okay, what will happen later we cannot predict now. At least as of now, uh, the IT and ITES will be very very critical for any organization. So software as a service, or SaaS, there is nothing but ITES, information technology enabled services, or software as a service, SaaS. That is the new trend. And increased availability of real time data. Earlier getting the data itself was difficult, and now I can get the real time data on that, exactly on that moment I can get the information. Increased use of mobile technology, that's uh, unprecedented increase in the use of mobile technology, especially in the Asian countries like China and India. At one point of time, so not long back, just about 5 to 6 years back, if we look back, how many of us had smartphones? uh, it was very difficult. And let me give you my own example. During 98, 99, when I was working in an industry, uh, only two persons had the privilege to use mobile phones. That too Motorola mobile phones, which we used to call them as geometry box or instrument box because of its size. Okay, and the outgoing call was 16 rupees per minute, and the incoming call was 8 rupees per minute, and only service provider was at that point of time probably Airtel. And that was the thing during 98, 99. Now within 20 years, where are we? Everyone has the smartphone. Forget about the mobile phone. Almost everyone have smartphone. So if anybody is using a 1100 Nokia 1100 or something old models like that, people will look at them with surprise. They will be strange figures. They will be looked upon as though they are a strange figure. Who is this fellow? He is still using 1100 model like that. But at one point of time, by about say 10 15 years ago, say 10 years ago, that's all, 1100 was one of the top models. People used to, it was sold in the market like hot cake. So mobile technology has taken big leap, has taken very giant growth, unprecedented growth, and that is one point which will affect the supply chain, and that is a very critical aspect of the success for supply chain. SAS is defined as the software that is owned, delivered, and managed remotely. Salesforce.com is one of the best known pure SAS supply chain software providers in customer relations management. Even SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, they're all using this model. That's what I said. One is information technology, and another one information technology enabled services. Okay, you are getting a better service because of information technology, and Salesforce.com is the pioneer and the leader in that field, and it has provided wonderful CRM softwares, customer relationship management softwares. Second one is the availability of the real-time information. Uh, the real-time information has exploded. That's what I was talking. It is not just one bit of information. It has exploded. Multiple dimensions can be accessed. Information from multiple angles can be accessed, can be analyzed, and decision can be taken. the this is how the opportunities to design system that enable rapid insight based on real-time data. While designing the network system itself, we take care of whether I can access the data on a real-time basis or not. Okay, significant opportunity exists to devise software that will use real-time information to help frontline supply chain staff, such as in the transportation and warehousing, make smarter and faster decisions that are revisited frequently. Many times it so happens that the driver will not be knowing whether the road is clear or not. See, real time information will help him. It so happens that see, let me take the example of fisheries. uh, After the rainy season, after monsoon season, the deep sea fishing starts happening, and they go to deep sea, anchor their ship there or steamer there, and they will stay there for months, and then they will come back with a large boundary of fishes. Many a times, all of a sudden, the cyclone or because of the natural disasters, they used to lose their life. But nowadays, because of the real-time information availability, they can get the information very well in advance, and they can decide whether to stay back or to come back to the shore so that they can safeguard their life. The increased use of mobile technology coupled with real-time information offers some supply chain an opportunity to better match demand to supply using differential pricing. See, mobile technology has helped to do a better differential pricing because supply and demand can be accessed directly. If the supply source is say at Gujarat and the market is in say Bengaluru, earlier how can you get the data? Send the fax. Okay, that is one thing. Another thing, book a trunk call, then do STD. Okay, even if you do STD, the line must be correct. During rainy season, the cables used to cut off, and we never got the signal. Telephone used to be dead. But mobile technology, we don't have any such problem. Okay, we can continue to access the remote areas if we have a good amount of network. That's what has happened, and that is how demand and supply, these two aspects are being taken care very easily, and uh, we have access to real time data because of mobile technology also. Other factors affecting supply chain. What are the few more factors that will affect the supply chain? First one is the widespread adoption of technology, including automation across the value chain. Automation is gaining importance. That's what I told you. Machine learning, automation, artificial intelligence, they are all gaining importance, gaining momentum. As a result, what will happen? That will affect the supply chain because the information flow is different, You are not going to contact with people because machines will be working. There will not be any delay in the production. There may not be delay in the transportation. All these advantages may come in future. Global climate change and resource scarcity. Resource is depleting. That is another important aspect that may affect the supply chain. Resources are depleting. Petroleum products are estimated to get obsolete by 2050. That's why OPEC countries are not producing them as in what they want. They have put a cap on the annual production, and that is one of the reasons why the petroleum prices are increasing continuously. Human migration on a mass scale due to many reasons. People are moving from Myanmar to India. Rohingyas, they are posing lot many problems in India. They cannot stay there, and they go to some other countries and start posing problem over there. That is another important thing. And because of them, what will happen? The supply chain may get affected. Many times it so happens that many companies will hire them as workers because they will be available for very cheap labor cost. And if they want to move from one place to another place, they will move out. Or if government catches hold of them and asks them to vacate the country, then what will happen? Automatically they will move out of the company, and company will start facing the shortage of labors. So that may affect the supply chain. Shifting consumer demands and changing market demographics. This is a common problem. Customers' demands will be ever changing. They will never remain same. So customers are fickle minded. We can't help it, and we have to manage them, manage their expectations. Okay. So market demographics are changing day by day, year after year. So these are the factors that will affect the supply chain. Importance of supply chain management in e-commerce industry. Now we will switch over to e-commerce. Why? What is e-commerce? What is happening to e-commerce industry? All those things. With the development of e-commerce, that is electronic commerce. E-commerce is nothing but electronic commerce. Its influence on supply chain and supply chain management is becoming increasingly significant too. The profit function of supply chain under e-commerce is formulated by taking the price of product and the maximum supply amount under certain investment as decision making variables, and taking the expected value of the random variables of supply as the setting sales quantity. Look at this diagram. That will help you to understand the entire functioning of the e-commerce. The profit function is based on how much I have invested and how much I am getting as the returns. Okay. It starts with the customer. Customer doesn't go to neither the supplier nor the salesperson directly. Okay, he just passes on information. See here, dotted line is information flow, dot dash is financial flow, and continuous line arrow is logistics flow or the movement of the material. Look here, customer passes on the information, passes on the amount, and that reaches the supplier. Supplier informs the demander or the customer that your product will be reaching, and supplier delivers the product. Sometimes he delivers the product directly here from supplier to customer, but many a times it will be via a third party logistics or 3PL. Okay, it will pass via third party logistics, and it reaches the customer or the demander. If there is no third party logistics, then supplier has to take care of the transporting the material directly to demander or customer. E-commerce can provide customers with direct sales, collecting all kinds of channels of information. Additionally, it can accelerate the product to enter market and facilitate the transfer of effective funding, so that a series of opportunities will be created to increase the profit for the enterprise or the supply chain. What happens over here in the e-commerce environment, uh, the cooperation, the information dissemination, uh, they are very critical for the success. Okay, and if you want to improve the operation efficiency of uh, e-commerce, the information flow, the logistics, uh, they are very critical. Drop shipping is an important aspect in improving the efficiency of supply chain. See here, it provides information across the supply chain. It helps to you to negotiate the prices. Okay, if the customers are not happy with one company's product, they will search innumerable number of products and finally take one decision. Allows customers to place orders online only. Track orders, that is very important. In retail showroom, we were not we did not have an opportunity to track the order, but here I can track my order. I can cancel my order at any point of time. Even after I receive it, I can return it. Filling and delivering orders, receive payment from the customer. These, some of them are for the customers, some of them are for the sellers. Alright, okay. Receiving payment from the customer. This is the advantage for the seller. He need not have to wait for too many days. He can get that as soon as he delivers the product, or even before that. Both are quite possible. We discuss about the drop shipping concept. Okay, drop shipping concept, it's one of the latest models that is being used in e-commerce business. See what happens, customer orders the product from where he orders the places the order from the list available. Who has placed that list? The seller chooses a supplier and the product. Okay, see now, first this seller chooses a supplier and the product. He then places that in the list, and that list is watched by, or it is referred by the customer, and customer places the order. And when he places the order, it starts moving, and seller handles the customer services, and he picks up the packs and ships the product, and finally it reaches the customer. This is one way of drop shipping, wherein customer places the order and the seller handling the customer services. Sometimes the seller hands it over to a third party logistics, and the third party logistics team will deliver the product. Amazon does it on its own, collects the shipment directly from the seller and delivers it to from the supplier. I mean to say, the Amazon will collect the package directly from the supplier and then gives it to customer directly, while others use the third party logistics like courier, like delivery, and other DTDC, professional, and many other couriers like that. Okay, but this is very important. Sometimes it so happens that the manufacturer will identify an already existing store nearest to the customer. Okay, he will identify many such stores located as much nearer to the customer as possible, and he will order from to that store to deliver the product. Okay, and there is a link between the seller and the supplier. Now there is no need of third party logistics here. There is no need for courier boy. The advantage is that the customer will get the product very quickly, because the lead time of transportation is totally avoided. Okay, that is the advantage of drop shipping. Next is the comparison of a Flipkart supply chain. You can see that here this is the warehouse and delivery centers, Flipkart customer desk. This is the Flipkart customer desk. Order, here is the customer. It starts with the customer. Let us start with the customer. He places the order to customer desk. Okay, from there what will happen, the information will pass on to warehouses and delivery centers of Flipkart, which has the collection of the products from manufacturing 1 2 3 4 like that. Okay, so he collects the information is passed on to warehouse. From there it goes to delivery center, and if they have their own vehicles, they will deliver directly to customers. If they do not have their own vehicles, they give it to courier service, and delivery will take place. So this is a Flipkart model and reverse supply chain model of Flipkart. Let us see. Here is the consumer. He goes to the first places the order. Agent of Flipkart, courier service, either any of these two will give the product to customer, and the customer, if he is not happy with the product, returns it to either the courier or the agent of Flipkart. Return process cell, it moves back money to customer. At the same time, it also gives that product to regular cell from where it was collected. Cost impact of drop shipping and other things, reduces product handling with shorter supply chain, decreases inventory cost. You need not have to hold too much of inventory, decreases delivery cost and time. That's what I told. It reduces the delivery cost and time, reduces facility and processing charges. Processing charge is very less now, because you are directly ordering, and you can customer can get the product directly from the manufacturer or from a third party logistics. Improve supply chain on coordination, so that will help the anyone to have a better coordination. Impact of e-business on responsiveness, direct sales to customers, 24 hours access, wider product range that is available, personalization, customization, fewer time to market. That is that means you can reach the market at a faster time. Flexible pricing, product portfolio, price and service discrimination, efficient funds transfer, lower stockouts, and convenience, automated processes. All these advantages can be obtained if you have a proper e-business service. Okay, so in this part we discussed about various advances in information technology, future of information technology, why information is very much necessary. We also spoke about different factors on which IT success is dependent. All these points were discussed. Okay, wish you all the best for your exams. Thank you.